After that, we got Rick Ross and Swerve, Strickland, and Keith Lee. In this segment was so many things. I thought this was well, first let's talk about this is the debut of the Mogul Affiliates group. We got Keith Lee and Rick Ross on the ring. Rick Ross basically called Keith Lee a big motherfucker, like just randomly. Didn't get bleeped by the censors or anything, and this from there immediately kind of just went off the rails as far as the execution of the segment. It felt like there were time cues that were kind of messed up, and it felt like everyone was kind of just like waiting for the next thing to happen, and the camera was swinging in ways where it was like, okay, Swerve's finally coming out. He's cutting a promo, takes shots at Lee. It talks about his health, talks about him not, basically being reliable and dependable, and they were shooting it in a way to where you knew someone was going to attack Keith. I thought it was going to be Ross that attacked him, but it wasn't. It turned out to be Parker Boudreaux, who's been posting the same logo that Swerve's been posting on social media. Parker's physicality did not look good with Keith Lee. Every time he would punch Keith, he would go back into like some SmackDown, here comes the pain, like taunt or something like that. I think he's got to really work on that physicality, because if there's, you look at, like, obviously Swerve's super experienced, incredible wrestler on his own. The people that are going to be with him, he looks like he's going to be like, kind of a bodyguard of types or henchman in this group or something, your physicality has to be on point. If that's not on point, I think it all falls apart. And this segment did not go over well with those attacks. Because of those attacks, I think people were thrown off that it was Parker, because the Trustbusters thing has not been explained yet. And then another gentleman jumps out after Rick Ross is just on the mic, kind of like making fun of Keith Lee, which is weird. I didn't know if Ross had an aversion to like looking weak in the ring. Maybe like I thought this could have worked better if Ross kind of almost was in trouble from Keith. If he said something Keith didn't like, Keith kind of like backed him down, and then someone jumped on him like that. But I think the fact that Swerve was on the mic, they didn't really have a chance to set all that up. So they're doing a lot of things, trying to get Ross out of the shot. They're trying to get Parker in the shot. They're cutting the Swerve back and forth. There's a lot going on production wise on this that I think threw a lot of this stuff off. But there's another gentleman, when Swerve eventually fights off Parker, comes out, forget his name at the moment, but he jumps out, lots of tattoos, former baseball player, has been trained with Jay Lethal from what I hear. The guy does have something, so that remains to be seen. He did not have it in this segment, so hopefully he brings it next time. So at the end of the day, it's Swerve got two white men working for him. So and then Ross is kind of like the mouthpiece for this thing. So I don't know if Ross is there on an every week type of thing or sometimes thing, but I think putting Ross in the group, who is a lot stronger in pre-tape promos and backstage interviews, will be a great thing for Swerve, kind of outside the ring as well as inside the ring. Like, it's not every day you kind of get to link with a legendary rapper, and I think Swerve's mission here is to really appeal to beyond the wrestling fan here. This is like, we saw a lot of like people kind of came out, didn't like this segment. I wasn't the biggest fan of the segment myself, but I you can look at XXL posting it and different hip hop blogs and all the IG stuff, and it's breaking into other places that that I think any wrestling company would kind of kill for. The people that drive social media like are black people, and that's just how it is. Like black people set the trends, and the world kind of like figures it out. So Grandin Goatsman, appreciate you, Zack Sabre, Black Sabre Jr. Grandin Goatsman was his name, but I think the Mogul Affiliates thing is a cool idea. I like the shirts. I'm going to be ordering one for sure. And I'm interested to see like where he goes with it. If they're going to add anybody else to the group, kind of in ring wise, maybe if I could, I know Parker and the other guy are young, but maybe another young wrestler that is kind of like a high work rate potential kind of guy. So I haven't seen either of these. I've seen Parker in limited capacities, never seen the other guy, but Yeah. So I'm being asked if I'm going to be the next member. I am not a high work rate individual at this point. I am someone who enjoys the high work rate, but if the Mogul affiliates need some music, I'm one call away. And I'm excited about the Mogul affiliates. So, I guess I'm an affiliate. You can say that. So, yeah, but as far as like, as far as this segment, I don't think the segment was great. I think there's definitely room to improve, and I'm gonna trust Swerve on this. I always trust Swerve. Whatever he puts his heart into and his mind into, he's gonna figure it out. So not worried at all. So after that.